You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Oh, hello there.
Well, hello there. How are you today?
I'm great, and I hope you're all great, and you stay tuned for this week's Geek Chat.
Well, thank you, everyone, for stopping by the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
And we got some books to talk about. They came out this week. Some were good. Some were not so good. We'll have to see what we think.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting because I actually liked it a lot more than I expected to like. So
Really?
yeah, I was like, and one that I was kind of like shocked that I didn't like it, but yeah,
Interesting.
well, it'll be interesting. Want to let you know that you're watching us here on the Experience. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends, and try to bring them in here because we want to join. We want all the tons of people to join. Unfortunately, we will not be having a giveaway this week. Hopefully, wanting to start back in September. That way, everything's fresh, everything's new, and we can get you those fabulous covers that we know you like. Mike, if you're there, just know that we sent it out. I sent it out, and you should be receiving it sometime soon. So, welcome in, John Hansen, Barlord, Kenneth, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping in. But because it's only an hour show now, let's get right into it. Rich, how you doing?
I'm good today. It's cooler in San Francisco, so I'm quite liking it.
Yeah, it was nice. I don't like the overcast, but
oh, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't like it. So the first book we're going to review today is a new book that I had no idea was coming out until Rich said, "Hey, I want you to do this." Hey, Paul. And I was like, okay. And that is Petra #1 from Dark Horse. And it's by a writer and an artist team that I was very surprised, only because the last stuff that I remember them, they were doing stuff for like DC. So
yeah. I want to say I follow Scott Collins on the Twitter. And he has been promoting this book for the last couple of months, and I've been really looking forward to it. Yeah. So let's get this out of the way. Script
Hold on, real
by
quick.
James.
Hold on real quick. So if you're not familiar with Scott Collins, he was a longtime penciler for the Flash during the Jeff Johns run, and did a lot of stuff over there. I think that's where he kind of cut his teeth, so to speak. And this is him, out doing his own thing. And I can't wait to talk about the artwork. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, James Robinson was the writer, and he, if you are unfamiliar with him, was one of the co-creators of Starman. Art by Scott Collins, letters by Jim Campbell, and the A cover that's right there is Scott Collins, and I got the B, which is the Francesco Francavilla, which I love his art.
Yeah.
So a little backstory on this. I was doing some reading. James Robinson has been mostly doing books and TV. He's stepped away from comic books for a while.
Oh, a long time.
Yes, and he had been doing so many things for other companies. Well, he finally went and he's like, I have an original idea. I want to do this. And he went to Scott Collins. And this book is actually a collaboration of both their ideas. And the one thing I learned while reading some of these interviews is that Scott Collins not only drew, he inked, he also colored this. So he is doing, when it says art by, he really did all of it. And there is a definite switch in his art style in the inking aspect. We get a lot more crosshatch within the faces. So I noticed that.
Yeah, that was one thing. That was one thing that I noticed versus his DC work with the Flash, is it was a lot more flat, and not meaning in a bad way. It was just the lines were a lot thinner. There was not a lot of shading. So This artwork, though, is something completely different. You can still sort of see it in his eyes a little bit, his style, but the amount of inking and the color scheme and everything is much more hello Meatwad, welcome in. Is a lot more uh overstated, and I was like, wow. And it actually looks really good, and it really fits his style really, really well. It gives his style a lot more depth, and I think that was one of the things that was always kind of missing from the Flash stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I love his artwork, and I always loved it on the Flash.
Oh yeah.
But this is like a step up, from what he's done. And I think it's just because he's doing it all himself, so he has a much clearer picture of how the characters are going to look, how the scene is going to look, and just how like the backgrounds look. Everything was a lot more detailed. The and it just I was floored by the artwork, to be completely honest with you, because I was like, wow. Some artists, have been around for a long time. Their artists can either be very stagnant, or it can sort of even dip down a little bit. This Scott Collins, this is like he stepped up his game, and I
Yeah.
guess because he really enjoyed what he was doing.
So two things about the art. I loved the forest scenes
Yeah,
because they were full. It was a full panel.
yeah,
How I am about backgrounds.
Yes,
When a
I
comic
really
has
do.
no backgrounds, it is very disturbing.
Yeah,
Every panel is just gorgeously rendered. And the other thing about his art is the flashback story of the killer was done with almost shapes and shadows
yeah.
that were not detailed.
Mhm.
So you got the creepiness. So this is a take on, for those who are interested, this is about a killer who has escaped and has gone to this small town in Minnesota and has murdered a family. And we find in this book that the MO is the same. He finds a family with a daughter. He murders everyone but the daughter, and then he takes the daughters because he wants them as sisters. So the story opens to the murder of this family, as you learn, and the police are
gruesome
like,
stuff.
well, where is the daughter? And we learn the daughter, Patra, is found. She wakes up in the woods. No recollection of how she got there, no memories. And the weirdest thing is this skull mask and knife appears in her hands. And then you learn the backstory of the murderer, the serial killer, who has a weird mask, knife as well. The
Yeah.
story was just as engaging as the art. I cannot recommend this book enough.
Yeah,
I loved this book.
Yeah, and it had a little bit of Halloween in it, which I thought was really kind of good. But the supernatural aspect of it, um, it kind of comes out, and she's like running from the mask. She doesn't know what's going on, so we are, as the reader, treated to that as well. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that you got the comic today, Mike. Enjoy. But yeah, I would agree. And it's only I think it's 4 issues.
So he has 6 arcs planned, though,
Yeah,
each referencing a different horror movie. So
that's why. Okay.
I really hope people pick this book up. I hope that it gets eyes and people read it, because I really want the next couple series to come. I really love this world we're in. Don't know, is the girl going to be a murderer? Is she going to be the final girl in everything? I would love to know what's coming up. I really enjoyed this, so
Very good
I
story.
would recommend.
Yep.
Pick this up.
Yep. So the next one is a movie type of thing. It is, I guess, Fox and Marvel are really working together, as it's well, I guess they own Fox now, so they can do whatever they want. But it's Predator versus Black Panther #1.
I got the Scott Collins, not Scott Collins,
Oh, Scotty Young.
Scotty Young cover with the little baby. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so I will admit to everyone here, are you ready? Please do not mock me or hate me. I have not ever seen an alien movie in my life.
Well, this is a
And
Predator movie, so you don't need to see.
oh, I never saw well, it's funny. I was looking at that, and I was like,
yeah.
Well, I've never seen a Predator movie either. I've never seen Aliens or Predators or Aliens versus Predators or none of it. So I went into this book completely. I had no clue what I was reading, and this has to be,
as Barber says, just milking it.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah. So let's get the credits out of the way if I could find them.
Sure.
All right. Benjamin Percy, amazing writer, did X-Force, Wolverine, a lot of good stuff. Chris Allen did the majority of it, and then a couple pages were done by Sean Damian Hill, Craig Vung, and Lee Ferguson. Again, don't know why we needed more artists. You know, that always reeks to me of lateness. The color artist was Eric Arsenegia, and the letter was VC's Travis Lanham. And the cover, I love Ken Lashley. I wish Ken Lashley drew this book, but he didn't. He just did that cover.
The funny thing, Ken Lashley was during Comic-Con, he was giving away like you could like spend money to have a meet and greet and dinner with him.
Really?
Yeah, and he gives you like it was like $600, but you get like some signed comics, you get like a drawing, and you get dinner, and you get to talk to him. It's like 90 minutes of just hanging out
for $600.
Yeah, and I was
better get. Wow,
I know. But
I get to binge all the Predator movies. Oh my god, that sounds like a great night.
Predator's not that bad actually. And the first couple Alien movies the first two are not bad. And here Romulus is really good, but I haven't seen it. I'm not really that big of a horror fan, if you can believe that. Hey Steve, welcome in. We will be doing
starting in September.
We'll be starting again in September, just having to get stuff worked out with the person that I'm getting them from and my schedule. So I started a job recently, and so it's just been an interesting thing. So I really hope that you guys can stay. Sure. Okay. But let's get back to the review.
Yeah. So I gotta disagree. I know you're joking, but more artists does not mean better art. A lot. It really doesn't. So
needle pulling thread. I liked it. I actually enjoyed it. I like it. Yes, Rich does like cats.
Steve, I do like cats.
I have two. You've heard them.
We've heard them.
I like this. I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool. It made sense. Everything that was happening made sense to me. You have this one Predator who was born kind of like malformed, only had one leg. He's smaller, weaker, and during one of the hunts, his father has a vibranium spear, and it's like super powerful, and it's really kind of it's him and his brother, so there's like sibling rivalry. The brother's super swole, and he's fighting, and he can kill stuff, and they're pitting each other. The father's pitting them against each other for dominance of like the whole clan. The one brother has his clan, the younger brother has his other clan, and so the younger brother comes to Earth in order to get more vibranium in order to best his brother. So the whole thing made sense to me, and in this world, that because it's not in the 616, it's in its own little world, but it made sense to me, and I thought the story was really kind of cool, like the interaction between the brothers. I liked how the brother escaped. He's like cunning, so he had to like he did a whole bunch of bioweapons inside of him, that people don't know about. I don't know, just how the way it flowed and how it was written was really kind of cool. And I don't know, it just feels, I don't want to say fresh, because it's like you got the Wakandans fighting Predators, and like the Dora Milaje and everything, and it's just of course the Predators. It's funny because like some of the Wakandan technology is based on Predator technology, because Predators have come to Earth before. So they're how they've influenced each other's cultures is really kind of cool. I don't know. I just really enjoyed what Benjamin's is doing, and it's just a fun story so far. So I'm definitely in for the ride. It was much better than that last Aliens one that we read, and I was like, oh, that was horrible. But this one actually, like, I think this is going to be a really good book. I don't know. Maybe it'll be better in trades for folks who don't want to wait, but I enjoyed it. Rich?
So if I had one complaint, I think that the Predator pages were inked too dark.
Yes.
Some of what was going on was very hard to see and understand what was going on.
Yeah, because the color palette as well, because all the aliens kind of all the predators kind of look the same as well.
They're gray and black, and then you use a heavy blues and purples and blacks.
Yeah.
It was a little. Now, when you went into Wakanda, that lightened up.
Oh yeah,
and I thought it was really interesting that this is a Wakanda that is not helping the outside world, and Shuri is like, we need to help the outside world, and he's like, no, we're not. We don't want vibranium, to get out.
Yep.
And yet this Predator is there for the vibranium. So it was really interesting that what he's trying to keep to himself, an alien wants to get from space. Like it was kind of funny in that way.
And I think there's gonna be it'll be off panel, but I do think that folks are gonna be killed, and I think that's really great.
Oh yeah, I think Okoye. I think she's down. I think she'll probably be down.
Yeah,
but you know what?
It's been fun. It seemed like a fun story that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's in its own little universe. I'm here.
Yeah, they can do what they want.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
So I want to say, I kind of knew that Ripley had a cat only from memes that were going around. When Vance said about the cat lady or whatever, there were memes about that too.
Yeah. Actually, to tell you the truth, experience. It's interesting. If you break down Aliens for what it is, it's actually a gothic horror story set in space. So that was what Ridley Scott's, because Ridley Scott's made like 3 different. He made a set of movies that were like, different. He made a sci-fi movie, he made a fantasy movie, which was Legend, and then he made Aliens, which was his horror movie. So he made that in like those three movies, and that was his like experimenting with stuff. And I thought it was great, So, but yeah, Aliens versus Avengers is.
We're definitely going to be reviewing that because again, I've never seen an alien movie, but I know who the Avengers are, so this should.
You should watch the first one. I think you should at least watch the first 2 Aliens movies, because I think the way that Cameron, so how people describe it is like Alien, the first one, is a study on like claustrophobia and how everything is kind of like together, and it's this suspenseful stalking, whereas Aliens, the James Cameron one, is like a full out action movie where there's space and everything is coming at you. So it's like 2 different movies. It's like 2 different genre movies set in the same universe. So it's just really kind of interesting how they interplay with each other. But yeah.
So coming up, we have 2 books, and one I can't wait to talk about, and one I guess we have to talk about it. So stay tuned, because we are going to be going into our first break, and we'll be right back.
In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, that'd be really great. Thanks.
You love comic books. You collect comic books. But even if you own a rare, expensive issue, it's still a copy. How would you like to own a piece of comic book history? The actual art pages the comics were made from? Oh no, you say. That's too expensive. Regular people can't afford that stuff. Can they? Nick Ferrucci says yes. Join the founder of Dynamite Entertainment for the original art experience on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Incredible art at almost unbelievable prices. Does he have some high-dollar pieces for the high rollers? Sure, but Nick always makes sure to find amazing pieces priced for the fledgling collector. You can collect original comic art. The Original Art Experience. Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Part of the experience.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming dead by sleep.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Des. And
Okay. No, go ahead.
Notice, make sure you stay tuned because after us is Mog and Mel.
Sketch up with Mog and Mel.
Mog and Mel. So definitely stay tuned for us. We'll be going right into it right after us. So we got.
So I want to say, Barlord, I love Bill Paxton, though my favorite Bill Paxton was Chet in Weird Science. Steve, yes, I do like Geiger's art. And Mel is sick. Well, we hope she gets feeling better soon.
Yes. But yes, game over, man. Why don't you put her in charge? Yeah, it's a great movie. And if you really want the Bill Paxton experience, you got to watch that. You got to watch The Dark Backwards with him and Judd Nelson. Great movies, really bizarre. And then Near Dark, fantastic movies.
So I learned today that Daniel Warren Johnson is leaving Transformers with issue 24. My heart broke a little. I'm very sad.
That's a good
he's
run,
putting
though.
So much into it. I know so much into it that he just, he's dedicating everything to it. So you get 2 years almost out.
2 years is great.
Yeah, but I'm scared. I'm scared of who they're going to bring in to write it because this has just been the peak for a Transformers fan. I would love to write Transformers.
It'll be you.
Well, I've delayed it enough. Let us get talking about our next book.
Jenny Sparks, number 1. So I'll let you start so we can get it out of the way.
I actually did not buy this book, so I had to read the PDF that DC sent to distributors. So all I have is Eisner Award-winning writer Tom King and artist Jeff Spokes. I cannot tell you who the...
I have it. Hold on.
You have it?
Yeah, let me give it for you. I'll take a picture of it. So it is... Yeah, so Jeff Spokes is the artist and cover artist, and Clayton Cowles did the lettering. That's it. So Jeff Spokes did the whole thing.
Okay. Yes, so... there seems to be a trend I'm finding that the more unlikable characters you get in movies and TV and in comic books, we're supposed to react positively to. We recently watched the new Ghostbusters movie, and I absolutely hated the little girl that's in it because she was a brat and everything was her fault, and she's quite unlikable. The last Star Wars TV show, again, the lead was so unlikable. And now I read Jenny Sparks, and she is so freaking unlikable. And she's got the power, like every other power. She's one of those, like I have every power I need. And this does nothing. And the fact that she calls Superman Clark and Bruce and the pretty princess, I'm just like, it turned me off. It turned me off.
Well,
but the art was really nice.
She is the physical embodiment of the 21st century. So
everyone's a dick in the 21st century is what I get if she's embodying that.
Yeah, I guess. So, but yeah, her power set is mostly lightning based, I guess. but yeah, that's Jenny Sparks. But it's written by Tom Crean. Yes, Gen Z has no respect for us olds. That's hilarious. So, what'd you think? What'd you think about the narrative? You know, what did you think? Aside from her being kind of an unlikable anti-hero.
I just didn't much care for this book. I love Captain Atom, but
Well, they made him crazy though.
I don't understand
Yeah, I don't.
this. So didn't Tom King write that book where Wally West
Heroes in
kills all the
Crisis.
heroes?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
And
This is his MO.
I think what you have to do with Tom King is, for whatever reason, I don't think he is a good single issue writer. I think you have to read the whole story in one sitting to get it, because I felt this story meandered way too long with all the extra people, and then having the payoff that they become hostages at the end. That was not a very good payoff. And then
No.
the whole thing about, Jenny being, her neck being snapped, and Bruce being almost subservient to her,
That bugged me a lot.
and it's just like he just felt so ineffectual. I don't know. It's just her character just does not, like, what has she done to deserve this kind of awe? And I think that's one of the problems with it, is her character, this version anyway, has not. Now, if we're going to do the original version of the Authority, I think I can understand that, but this new incarnation, I just don't think that it's there. So a lot
Yeah.
of gravitas she had, and her with the guy, and then Batman sneak again, and she's all pissed. It's like going to see, and she's like, I killed God, and I'm like, oh, okay. It is screamed like a lot of like bolstering for nothing, and I just was like, huh. But again, had it been one contiguous story that I read in a book, I think I could get into it a little bit more. But having to wait is just like, and I think that's one of the things that people don't understand is these comics, they make you wait for them, and if you can't really get into it, then like there's nothing, like there was no connective tissue about why. Hi, Easy. It about why he was like that. It's just he
Yeah.
wants to be a god, and I'm like, okay. And then he snaps her neck. Out of all the different things that he could do to her on a molecular level, he snaps her neck. And I thought that was just like, really? That's it? I don't know. This book left me lacking.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
I
left
have
me
not
wanting. Sorry.
I have not started Penguin. I just got the first trade because I've heard such wonderful things about Penguin. So I'm behind on the whole Penguin book. But I do have the first one to read. And I don't know. Yes, Barlow, this definitely was not for me either.
I'm going to own the Comic Pals. Say, like mines. I will definitely pick it up as a trade. That's probably what I'm gonna do. It just seems like with Tom King stuff, I just have to read it all together as one thing, and then I can kind of like understand what he's trying to say, because this episodic stuff, it's just like, oh, get to the point already.
Yeah,
So.
same. But the next book, on the other hand,
So
I enjoyed the hell out of.
It's so silly. Oh my lord.
All right, everyone. This is Wolverine Revenge. We've been waiting a while for this book since we learned about it. It is written by Jonathan Hickman. The penciler is Greg Capullo. The inker is Tim Townsend. The colorist is FCO Placencia. And the letter is VC's Corey Pettit. That cover is by Greg Capullo, Tim Townsend, and FCO Placencia. And there are a ton of variant covers.
Yeah.
including one by Sean Galloway. He does the Saturday mornings. And I just want to say, we learned that Marvel has left him uncredited for 4 different variant covers that he has done.
This being the 5th one, I think.
They do. Oh, no, they credit him on this.
Oh, they do? Okay, well, that's good.
They did on this one. But, Marvel, come on. Come on.
It's not
now, I did not open our red band. I have it. I just haven't cracked it open yet. So the difference is supposed to be blood. It shows gore and blood that they can't show in a regular comic book due to the no longer comics code. I don't know. They do whatever they want now.
They just want money.
They do. They just want money. But I'll be honest, they're doing a lot of... So Werewolf by Night is a red band. The new Blade is going to be red band. And I think sometimes there's certain characters that a red band more bloody would work for. Like, I don't think it would work for the Avengers, but for Wolverine, Blade, anything that's going to be a little bit more bloody, then I'm like, yes, go for it.
It looks like 2 Batmans because stop it. Okay, real quick, before we go on with our review, Jenny Sparks, you're asking Steve. So yeah, she was killed at the end of Authority a long time ago, but then she was reborn when the 20th century clicked over, and that's why she was reborn. And then there was this whole thing where she was a kid, and then Apollo and Midnighter raised her as their daughter for a long time, and that was a series. And then
so she's acting this way because of their parenting.
No, she is. I think you're right. She is a reflection of the 21st century, and like Experience says, they don't care for the olds. So she's just that kind of like, and I think she's British too. So what does it say about British people? I don't know.
No insult to anyone British that is watching.
Okay. So yeah, this was definitely takes place on Earth 19875-309. I guess because
yes, it does not take place in any kind of continuity, which I guess no one ever told the retailers. I had no clue that it took place in another reality. And people, we spoil here, remember?
Yes.
The only reason this isn't on Earth 616 is because Captain America gets a couple of weed.
So no, man, I don't know. At the beginning, Magneto died. He caused an EMP when they killed him. They killed Magneto, and when Asteroid M crashed into the ground, he let off a giant EMP, basically destroying everything in the northern hemisphere. So it literally is just a bloody, silly story in which Nick Fury, who's white, by the way, that's another thing that makes us know that he's not on 616, goes to the Savage Land because Wolverine is on a vacation, and they need to bring him in because obviously Wolverine didn't know what was going on. I have no idea how he didn't know what was going on, and they kind of draft him in order to do this, and he has to fight the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and a souped up mastermind. What? It's like it literally is Jonathan Hickman just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna do whatever I want," and they said, "Okay, okay, books, let's do it."
And it worked. This was a great, an old school Wolverine doing what he does best, and it was fun.
Everyone gets kablooied. It was great.
Oh my god!
Everyone dies. Maria Hill gets her head chopped off. Deadpool's an actual villain. It's like, and then Colossus is a turncoat. It's just, and so the revenge is he's basically he has to kill all these people like Omega Red and Sabretooth. So I can only imagine what's gonna happen. It's just silly. Like, and they put a like, I love how they cut Wolverine and they broke his they put a bomb underneath his adamantium skeleton so his body wouldn't push it out. So that's kind of cool, right? And then they fucking they effing blow him up. Seriously, they blow him up, and then he, like, of course, regenerates, which is dumb. And then now he's gonna get revenge on them. So of course they're gonna stalk him all over this secret Antarctic base. So I'm just like, okay, let's do it.
It was fun. It was stupid fun. Easy reader. You would want to rewatch us because we reviewed Patra. It was the first book we actually reviewed.
Yeah.
And we both really, really, really loved it.
So yes, Barlord, you don't really get Hickman just being silly for the sake of being silly, and this is a silly book, but it's silly fun. And I think that's the thing that people forgets about sometimes. And when you get a reputation as being sort of an architect, a comic book architect, and being able to create all these really big arcs and all this really big stuff, you forget that sometimes you just want to be silly, you want to be funny, you want to do not weird stuff, but you just want to be silly. And this is what it was great. It was great. I was reading it and I was like, oh, okay, well, he's obviously off the res, so let's have some fun with it. And he definitely did. Like the whole thing with like Wolf with Captain America and Bucky exploding, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like what?
Now I want to see the red band to see exactly how they blow up.
Yes, because now I want to see just heads come off. I mean, like what's going on with this? And the fact that they were toying with them like that is just, I don't know. And then like how they survived, they mentioned, Uranus, or I can never say his
Eunice,
name.
the Untouchable.
Yeah. He protected them and he died because it's just little stuff like that, little throwaway lines like that just make it so much fun.
Yeah.
It was just silly. It was just silly good. So I think you should try it.
Yeah, I would recommend if you just want a fun Wolverine book that doesn't take place in anything and it has no, consequences on other books, just pick this one up.
Yeah, definitely, Barlord. It really does sound like they were at like a con together, and he was like, "Hey, I got this idea," and Greg Capullo was like, "Hey, I'm done with Batman. Let's go." And he's like, "Sure," and they ran with it. It literally feels like that's what happened. And
I've been a Capullo fan since X-Force.
Oh yeah. So
his art has just gotten better and better.
Another artist whose art has leveled up as they've gotten older. Another artist where that has happened. So it's just fantastic. So it is time for our last commercial break. But when we get back, we have two things to talk about before we turn it over to Mog. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
Ask your local comic shop to add Battle Quest comics to your pull list today. Boring old Tuesday.
Kick it! Hey, let's get to it.
Henri Copen scours collections and comic shops to bring you the biggest deals on beautiful comics.
I'm very eager to sell these books.
Plus, he smashes those other boring sales shows. Henri's got fire, excitement, personality, key books, FOMO books.
Pixie! FOMO books for you.
A cute dog. Weird accents.
69, bro!
A wheel of skid bark?
Wheel spins at the end of every show.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll score huge bargains.
That is Haktua magic right there, all right?
Kicking it with Henri. Tuesday nights, part of the experience.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are watching the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Des.
So we got 2 more books for you.
But before we do that, I wanted to say
Yes.
something. I went to GalaxyCon in San Jose this past weekend. Went for just Sunday, and it is interesting. So San Jose has had many a different con. Big Wow, Silicon Valley, and now GalaxyCon has graced San Jose with its presence. And with its presence, they brought a bunch of stars with them. So they brought Shatner and they Brent Spiner and Gold Dorn and the guy and Hervé from Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows and some other people, but it was just very interesting to walk around. Oh, Weird Al was there, so I got to I was this close to asking him a question, this close, but they had to end it, so I was sad. The reason why I was there is
what was your question? No.
It's just the reason why I was there is because a friend of mine is part of a it's called Tight and Nerdy. and it's a burlesque Weird Al troupe, and so there's burlesque dancers, and all the music is Weird Al stuff, and so they were there to promote. They did a documentary as the one of the first kind of people to do that, and it's they called a bear to be stupid instead of dare to be stupid. It's bear. But anyway, it was really kind of fun being there. And I have to tell you, if you've never been to a con, go to a con. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet some people who you never thought that you would meet, and especially these smaller cons, because if you go to Comic-Con or New York City Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con, they don't say the city part. There's always a lot of people there, so you might not be able to meet anybody. But I went there, and like Arthur Adams was just sitting by himself in this giant, table, just drawing stuff, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" And then like Matt Higgins was there, and stuff, and I have to say, I met his name is escaping me, Jerome Opina.
Yes.
So I met him. Yeah, I met him there, and he was so cool. Like I was wearing, so I bought I had a red shirt on, and it was Blaster it was like Blaster's chest from, so it was all red, but it had Blaster's emblem on the front. And he was like, "Oh, that is such a cool shirt." And I was like, "Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it." And so we sat there and just chopped it up, for like 5-10 minutes. And I'm a sketchbook fan, so I love, getting sketchbooks. So I bought his sketchbooks and we just chatted, and he was just such a cool person. And that's what I mean. It's like you can go to these smaller cons, you can go to con, you can meet these people, and they're just so friendly. Some of them are. I mean,
some of them are.
Like, it was funny because like Matt Higgins was just kind of sitting there, and like I was kind of walking by, and he didn't really say anything to me, and our eyes met. He didn't say anything to me, and this other guy walked up, was like, "Oh, Mr. Higgins." He's like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" And I was just like, "Oh, okay." So it was very funny. So Steve says yes at the Experience. It's not via LA, even though it's a great big freeway. Huh. Oh, San Jose. You're talking about San Jose. The one might say, in fact, you do know the way to San Jose. It's silly. Yes, I do know the way to San Jose. It was an hour away from where I was, but it was really great. I put on Madonna because she just had her birthday not too long ago. So
yep,
I was listening to Madonna, and every now and then you forget how far the 90s is away. How far back the 90s is. You forget every now and again. So yes. But yes, so this is a book that unfortunately I was unable to acquire, so I would love to hear your thoughts of Something Crawled Out. And
you didn't read it? You made me read this?
You're the one that picked it out.
Oh yeah, that was a mistake.
Why? You
didn't like so
well, God, don't they? But doesn't Vault do the retailer? You get it for free and then you can try it out and stuff.
No, that wasn't one of these.
Oh,
so the writer of this was Sun M. The artist is Mad Cursed, and the letter was Jim Campbell. And if I wrote this, I wouldn't want to tell my real name either. That's rude. I'm sorry. I did not care for this book. Do you remember when we went and saw Madam Web? Remember that? You remember?
Yes, I remember seeing Madam Web with you.
And everyone watching, you don't want to go to a movie with Desna because we talk.
We
Coop
whisper.
just turned and gave me a look.
We whisper. Oh,
If
tell
Kelly
Coop
was
his candies were great, by the way.
so Kelly is watching the DNC thing, so he's not here tonight, but he hates going to a movie with us. So anyway, there's a point to this. After Madam Web, you and I were saying it needed an editor. It needed someone to say you don't need this. Because if you watch Madam Web, they show two parts of the same movie twice. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they do.
This book needed an editor. It went on and on and on and on. Oh my God. And it was the last, like, maybe 4. It's a thick book, too. There's a lot of pages to this.
Well, at least you're getting your money's worth.
Oh my God. It
was just too long in the tooth.
It just went on and on and on. And it wasn't until the last couple pages something happened. It's about the two people at the bottom. And one of them, sister goes missing. And then other girls in the town are going missing.
And there's a German following him?
Well, that's just it. You don't know who it is. So the main girl thinks her best friend is the devil. And they work at an Easy Mart. And they're at the Easy Mart. And this guy with the weird glasses shows up. Well, it's locked and he's trying to get in. He's got a giant gun with him. And then, like, they find a dead body, and then this woman comes in, and she's naked, and kills I don't know. Something crawled out. I don't know from where, but it needs to go back.
Wow.
It just, I wish I might make you read this book. Like, I might actually give you our copy, because I want you to be tortured how I was.
Well, you never know, because it might be coming to, it might be coming to a streaming service near you soon. So, they love stuff like this. So,
like,
it was
we were joking. No, we were joking when Daryl Dixon, his show premiered, and it was like 6 episodes of Daryl walking across Europe.
That show already came out?
Oh, yeah, it came out. They're coming up with season 2.
Oh, I didn't even know. It was free.
Wait. Coop, did we get something crawled out free? But we could give it away. Oh, yes, it was one of those. So retailers pay for the bundle, and then we can give it to you free. So yeah, you'll be getting one, and I can't wait. Yes, it was free. Thank you, Easy Reader.
I'll read it. I'll read it, and I'll give you my review in like a week or two. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. I'm very sorry. I did not like it. Let's end on something I liked.
Yes.
Let's end positive.
Yeah, world's finest. I enjoyed this too. I
That's Trinity's first adventure. So this is set in the Mark Waid universe, which is kind of what we're calling it, because it's very
Earth MW.
It's very distracting that the Teen Titans had cell phones and social media, and Robin brings it up in this again. So, okay, Mark Waid was the writer. Gleb Melnikov was the artist. Tamara Bonvillain was the color, and Dave Sharp did the lettering, and that cover is by the always amazing Dan Mora, who has moved on from this book. He is doing Absolute Power right now, and then he's scheduled to do something. I can't remember what.
Probably Justice League.
But this is
one and done.
It is a one and done, and I loved that he writes one and dones. Complete story, people. Not hard to do. And I loved it. The art was
oh, cool.
The art was a little bit of a bunch of different artists thrown in. His art style is very, very
He likes him
Big.
thick though.
He doesn't say big. Yeah,
He
everyone's
likes him
big.
thick. Like
Everyone is.
he got the memo that thick thighs saved lives because Scoops was like, he did not miss leg day. I will say that much. Like, he did not miss leg day. I was like, damn.
So the whole thing is there is a murder on Paradise Island. And as much as Hippolyta does not want men coming, she's like, look, I met these two guys. They're really nice. You're going to like them. I promise I won't have sex with them. Can they come over and play? And yes, they go, and they bring Robin along as his unannounced +1.
Who was just so much fun.
Fun is the way to describe this book. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and for this one, so it's a murder mystery, and then Batman is the greatest detective, while Superman and Robin are flying around learning about what's going on in other places of Themyscira. And what I liked about it is it uses the George Perez version of the Amazons. So it's the Amazons are reborn as women who have died a very sad or violent death. They are reborn as Amazons, and there's this woman who oversees the well in which they come out of, and something comes out of that well that was not supposed to be there, and that's kind of leads the story on. I personally don't want to spoil it, only because if you're wanting just a quick story that you can jump in and out of really quickly, you should read it. And what I like about it is it's not I don't want to say it's bogged down by it's not bogged down by continuity.
Not at all.
It's just that you get to just basically read about these three people coming together and talking and having this adventure. And I really, it's just fun. It's like Wolverine Revenge. It's like this very classic, the classics. Yes, Bar-Lord annuals need to go back to stuff like that. I 100% agree. Like the annuals that were in like the late 80s and the 90s, fantastic. One of the things that I bought when I was at GalaxyCon was I bought those. Remember those archives with DC archives that were like super thick for like $16, and it was black and white. Yes. I got like a bunch of them for half off. I bought the Teen Titans, both volumes of the original Teen Titans. I got World's Finest #1. It's just, it felt like that stuff, and I think Mark Waid really is able to capture that really well with these characters, and it's just fun. It's just fun.
And I realize it's Ed McGuinness. The artist is an early Ed McGuinness.
Yes, it definitely will, Bar-Lord, and I can't wait. So, but on that is the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Please stay tuned for Just the Mog, and a whole bunch of slew of writers. We will be back next Thursday, 6:00 Pacific time, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And like I said before, we will be bringing back the giveaway in September. So please stay tuned. Please keep coming in, like and subscribe, tell your friends. We still are trying to grow this channel, so please do that. Rich,
that's it for me too. Yep. Thank you everyone for joining us. Yep. You're why we do it. That and we like to talk.
So we'd rather talk with you than at each other. Yeah. So all right, everyone, have a good night. Bye.